Look, ladies and gentlemen, everyone knows that I despise the racial division issues that are used to divide and conquer us. But all over the country, including the mayor of Philadelphia and others, are having to come out and, you know, tell black youth to stop rioting, to stop engaging in racial attacks. And we are so politically correct in the West now that the people doing this think it's their right to pull over a family, jerk people out of the car, strip their clothes off, and then the media, the British media, the UK media that will report on this is being demonized by other media. Okay, this is very, very serious. That's one reason, if it's not a provocateur action, that the police are standing down. They are that afraid, ladies and gentlemen. And then, of course, the higher-level social engineers, they know what they're doing. They'll just use this to take everybody's rights. So this is very, very dangerous. Hundreds of riots and lootings and attacks. Now, talking to Patrick-Hemminsen, who is a reporter of long renown, doing a great job reporting for us from Copenhagen at the UN Summit, an impeccable source. Patrick, going back, because I brought in the break, I said, what color were the people being drug out of the cars? And you told us. Please repeat on record exactly what you witnessed.
Yeah, I did witness a white male, age 30, his car was stopped, the street was barricaded with wheelie bins or rubbish bins, and he was attempted to pull out of the car, and another passersby came. He was beaten by 6 or 7 men and left there in the rain as they ran up the street. Now, these could have been anybody, but it just happened to be there's a color divide in Brixton, and most of the looters and rioters were young black males. But it's a bigger problem than that, as you well know. This is a massive problem. However, it's going to turn into a racial divide. There's already tension on the streets. You can feel it when you're walking down through Brixton. Half the people are saying in their head, who's responsible for this? And the other half are thinking, why are they looking at me like that? And that's only going to get worse. So I can only say that this is a big warning shot out to the government, to David Cameron, and to Tony Blair before him, who were very, very interested in bombing the innocent people of Libya, spending their money and their attention plundering Iraq and Afghanistan, and they've taken their eye off the ball for about 10 or 12 years, maybe 20 years.
Well, it turns out Tony Blair had a long-term secret immigration plan to actually bring the illegals in as a political constituency. But to be specific, unless I misheard you, because I want this on record, Patrick-Hemminsen, you're saying you did witness barricades, black males attempting to pull people out of cars and successfully pulling a white male out and beating him. Did you witness black males doing that to a white male?
Well, I didn't see the color of the guy in the car, who I couldn't see if they had jumped in the car or not. But I did see the person who was trying to help him was a white male, and he was beaten as a result of his intervention. Now, it was such a situation that you couldn't even go out in the street to help the person because... No,
I understand, but he was beaten by, the white man was beaten by what color people?
A gang of 7 or 8 Afro-Caribbean, young boys. Basically.
Yeah, I mean, that's how politically correct we've all gotten, myself included, that I had to interrogate you to even get you to say it. And I'm not criticizing you, Patrick. I understand the fact that we all want to get along, but the only way we're going to stop this is by decrying it. And that's why I've protested people like the Ku Klux Klan. But the fact that we have black groups more and more thinking it's their right to beat the daylights out of or rob white people is wrong. And at the end of the day, it's going to end up hurting black folks. What do you say to that?
I agree. And the politicians don't need to be telling black communities to tell their children to not engage in this kind of crime. The parents, the families of these children in the black community need to take responsibility, which they're clearly not. At 2 a.m., if your kid's out running around while there's police helicopters overhead, obviously you're not doing anything near a job of parenting. And maybe that's not their fault. Maybe it is. Maybe most of them are single parents, which they are. But you have a complete breakdown within the black community of any sort of form of control. And that's not everybody, obviously, but we're talking about a significant amount of young kids.
In closing, absolutely. Give us your website, Patrick Hemminsen.
Our website's 21stcenturywire.com. That's 21ST-wire, or 21ST-centurywire.com, 21stcenturywire.com. You get a lot of reports on there, and we're trying to keep up. In fact, the criminals in North London are issuing leaflets on the street saying, don't talk to anybody, change your haircut, so you won't be identified from CCTV photos.
We're going to have to get you back.